I'm back, bitches. Yeah, sorry. I've been like fucking stupid busy and not really felt like it, but I'm back. How you been, Magic? Where are we going to start? Because I've got like 2 months of bullshit to get through. Well, I'll start at the top of my notes, I suppose. We've only got 11 pages to get through, so it shouldn't take that long. Stickers, aye. So stickers, you've seen on the blog page that I had some stickers make. They're almost done. So if you want some, drop me a line at the blog, or you can email me at thebeardedbeerblog, that's all one word, at gmail.com. And for those of you who are not quick enough to write that down, it is thebeardedbeerblog at gmail.com. Smashing. What else have I got to tell you about? I went to Brewdog Bar in Dundee and it was fucking shit. I've never not enjoyed going to a Brewdog Bar until I had the misfortune of going there. I was driving, right? Because I was taking my eldest up to the comic convention up in Dundee. So I went in for a cheeky wee alcohol-free beer. And it was a Saturday afternoon. So, no excuses. And they don't have any at all on tap. Not a drop. But the fella behind the bar kind of went, shrugged at me. But he did say they had cans of Punk AF in the fridge. Okay. So I went and had a look. And they were nearly £5 for a fucking stubby. So I said to him, I'll leave it, pal. It's a bit steep. And basically all I got was another shrug, and fair enough. Couldn't have given less of a shit. There we go. I bet they wouldn't have stamped my passport if I'd bought it anyway. Anyway, I mentioned it on the blog, and they were quite happy to creep on my profile. My profile? What the fuck's a profile? Quite happy to creep on my profile, but not say anything about it. So, there we go. What else have I been up to? Not a lot really. Went to the Tempest tap room, which started off as some civil pints, and then turned into fucking carnage. I maybe should have gone home with the rest of the guys, but, I shall never ever learn. You can see the video of that day out on the YouTube page. I shall stick a link in the show notes. Please do give it a watch, because you'll get to see me shit-faced playing bongos with a homeless man, which was the highlight of the night for me. No, actually, the highlight of the night for me is talking to a lady who was wearing a dog collar and like a lead, and it wasn't the kind of retractable leads that you get. It was like a proper kinky leather collar with a big ring on it, and the lead was like a big long chain with a handle on the end, and her man was leading her around the pub by the chain. Yeah. Yeah, fair play to them. Not my cup of tea, but there you go. I don't drink tea, so there you go. I only drink coffee and booze. Magic. Anyway, enough bollocks. That's nearly 5 minutes. I've been talking shite at the start of this episode. Anyway, enough of that. Let's just get on with the beer. Christ on a Stegosaurus. I have never had a peppery IPA before, and Love Lies Bleeding from Third Moon Beer just blew my wank socks off. It was pretty innocuous looking, but it packed a fucking lip-stinging punch.
Sounds like my genitals.
And that was a 4.5 on Untapped. Another one from those of the Shaven PP Drink Willy Bald with their double IPA Frizz. I got this because of the roller coaster on it, and it sounded a bit like a comedian I saw at the Fringe last year called Frizz Fizzle, who is funny. I'll maybe put a wee link to his socials in the show notes, see if I remember. Anyway, it was a meaty beer with a good double IPA flavour to it, and that was a solid 5. A Northern Monk from Tesco kicked off this shit Saturday night. Horde is a good sturdy hazy IPA with a solid 7% ABV. Yeah, not to be sniffed at. Unlike Sally Nugent's bicycle seat. And I was too busy snedging to give this a score by the looks of my notes. Fucking idiot. Oh no, read my notes. In other news, my chest was hurting after a weird night of pain, little sleep, and ultimately trapped wind. Aye, I remember that night. It was horrible. I was getting really nasty pains across my chest. I couldn't sleep. Scared to get up. Didn't want to wake anybody. Eventually, I thought I'm going to get up and go downstairs and have a little shot at my GTN spray. So I did, and I walked about 7 paces and let loose the biggest, disgustingest burp I have ever done in my entire life. And then I was fine. But yeah, I was pretty scared. I was pretty anxious. And I enjoyed the shit out of that beer. And then the next line down in my notes, if you read that, G, 4.25 and Untapped. Then there was a sexy bastard called Slow Hands. It was a hazy IPA flavour, and from those registered hop offenders over at Left Handed Giant. Chewier than the dishwasher when you let the pan steep, and I'm sure they've altered the water profile somehow. Also a sexy name that reminds me of my Instagram crush. Now, I've just read my notes, but what? Chewier than the dishwater? Oh, chewier than the dishwater. I said dishwasher, didn't I? What a fucking spastic. Chewier than the dishwater when you let the pan steep. That makes far more sense to me now. You're going to have to forgive me. These notes are like 2 months old, and I'm a spaz. Anyway, 4.75 on Untapped. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Some ballbag forgot to put beer in the cold thing maker, but North Brew totally saved the day. I'd bought this can during the week and I'd forgotten about it, so it was in the fridge already. And Another World is a kind of hazy double dry hopped IPA that blokes with small cocks would get upset about a lady drinking. We know who that is. It was a smashing wee beer. It was both sharp and smooth at the same time. Like shaving the hedgehog cock. That was 4.25 on Untapped. Right, I'm going to get this through this next one without laughing. A wee grapefruity number to help my spaff taste nice. Fucking fail. Anyway, it was from Vocation. It was a double dry hopped IPA. It was called Doppelganger. It was subtle and flowery and blossoms on the back of the tongue. Like my spaff. 4.25, and I'm going to do the wee ident thing while I take a deep breath. Right, I've calmed down now. Look, it's that Garth Marenghi beer that everyone was banging on about. Thankfully, One Track Lover from Neon Raptor lived up to the hype, and this New England IPA tastes like freshly rained on mud and not fish piss like the last hype beer I had. Regular listeners and followers of the blog will know that was that weird fucking lambic or whatever the fuck it was called that we had at the Hanging Bat, who dropped the ball in that event. That's a story for a different time. It was a solid 5 for that. Way good stuff, Neon Raptor. Oh yeah, I was in Glasgow for this next one. What was it? It was another comic festival for the Wayne. But I do have to say, Brewdog's Punk alcohol-free IPA, it was pretty good. There's obviously something missing, but I don't think you'd miss it if you didn't know. A wee bit of a short measure in the pint, no, but I had some scran, so it was good. And that was a solid 4 on the nose. What was next? Oh, I went along to the Grunting Growler, which was just round the corner. How Scottish am I? The Grunting Growler. It was just round the corner from Brewdog, and I picked up a dozen beers there. Fella there's lovely. Wee American man with an apron. Nice guy. But I had a sit-in tinny there, It was another alcohol-free beer, obviously because I was driving. That was from the Legends at Track, and what was it? It was all night alcohol-free. It was like posh fizzy juice. It was tasty but dry, and it was also very refreshing. Go figure. What I did notice though, I kept picking up the can and looking at it, going, "Have I picked up an alcohol-free one?" Because it was a wee bit too good to be alcohol-free, which is a bit weird. But I got another one, and I had it on a sunny afternoon, and I got that sort of sunny afternoon snooziness that you get if you have like a good beer. So I'm heartily recommending, if you want to try alcohol-free booze, get some of these all-night alcohol-frees from Track. I've gotten a 4 out of possible 5. I think that's really because there's no alcohol in it, and I'm just wondering what it'd be like if there was alcohol in it, and it was all-night alcohol. That doesn't even bear thinking about. Anyway, named after the Pearl Jam song Even Flow, Dissident from Overtone Brewing. Oh, I can't. It's a ball slapper of an IPA. It says harsh and unforgiving as getting as a rusty trombone from Jaws of a Moonraker but not stall. I need supervision. Oh, fun fact. I met Richard Keel at a gig in Newcastle. What was it? I think it was at the Royal Marines Reserves or something in Newcastle. They had like a James Bond night, and they had some boy that was meant to be Sean Connery, like a young Sean Connery, but basically he reckoned he looked like Sean Connery because he had a tuxedo on and black hair. But aye, Richard Keel, poor bastard. He could barely stand, and he was miserable as sin. It was kind of, we were having a break from playing. He was sat in sort of our changing area, and it was like if you go to the school for parents' night in sort of primary school, you're sitting there, on one of the kids' seats, with your knees up round your ears. That was what he was like. He was massive, man. But like I say, he was looking absolutely miserable, and I went over and said hi, and then he just lit up. He was like switched himself on, if you know what I mean. Like showbiz terms. He didn't like turn himself on. Yeah, lit up like a very tall lamp, and he was more than happy to answer all of my stupid ass questions. So lovely, lovely man, lovely man, lovely man, and that was a 4.25. Just to confirm before I get hate mail, the score was for the beer, not Richard Keel. Anyway, I love an Asvex Brewing me. I'd have their beer babies, no mistake. But their IPA by the name of Unreadable Metal Logos tastes like getting stabbed 23 times and thrown down a lot of stairs. A niche joke there. 4.5 and Untapped. Oh, I had this one on a school night. Yeah. And I was having a beer. What you going to do, brother? Emperor Nell from Pub Brewski is an IPA flavour craft beer that smells like my jammies after a week. And more better than the first minister who's embezzled 600k and then bought a massive camper van. Allegedly. And then had their husband arrested for embezzlement. Allegedly. 4.5 and Untapped. Oh, got hay fever, sorry. I bought Strongmen Also Cry because of its obvious Big Lebowski connection, but I also kept it to highlight Mental Health Awareness Week. This West Coast IPA from Pomona Island is a lovely dark and multi-mood wrecker. I'm going to read this exactly as it is because I got asked questions about it, and that's good because it warms my heart to know that some people care. Anyway, I try to be strong, but it's not always easy or necessary. I cried last Sunday night listening to The Spirit Carries On by Dream Theatre and stumbling across some photographs of my dad. sometimes these things just grab you. I'd shared a short video of the medications I take earlier that day. And I'm not looking for attention, just understanding. So, be kind to yourselves and others, or fuck off. And that was a 4.5 on Untapped. With a label that looks like gold dust scooshed as Happy Time wang spew onto some blue paper, Marble Skies from Overtone Brewing is... I was doing so well! Fuck that transition, didn't I? Anyway, it looks as if an Oscar statue came to life and was also a sexual deviant. It's also a double IPA, which is my favourite flavour of lager. And that was a 4.25. Why did I give it such a low score? I'm going to have to get another one and reevaluate my gobness. I went to Collins after that and I had an Overtone pint. And it was weekend, people. It was a nice wee New England IPA for a hot day. And I gave that 4.5. Christ, will people stop sending me emails? This is a pain in the ass. I might be working. I'm trying to record a podcast here. Jesus. Anyway, a Squinty Overtone Brewing. It was a Czech-style Pilsner. And it was named Flokes. Or Floex. Flokes. I'd say Flokes. Because it's, Czech. Flokes. And it was refreshing as fuck. Oh. And I only gave that a 4. Now, with a label that looks like splooge on some boobs, Hazy State from Collective Brew is a pretty much perfect summer session IPA. Get some down your grid. Unless it's like now, 2nd of July when I'm recording this and it's fucking dreich and it's been pissing the rain all day. But it was a solid 5 out of 5. Yay! So Dyson Sphere from Asvex Brew is a double IPA that reminds me of the time I was in hospital for the weekend after finding out that the Dyson ball cleaner was just a name. Oh, calm down. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, Cosmic. This creamy bad boy of an IPA with a label that reminds me of my 7th girlfriend was super tasty. And I've got a little fist with water emoji coming out in my notes. That was a 4.5 on Untapped. I think it was called Cosmic, by the way. That's why I went, ooh, Cosmic, like Neil from The Young Ones. Right, so I don't know if Pan Digital Number from Asvex uses all the digits from 1 to infinity exactly once, but it's a fucker of an IPA. It was juicy and fruity, and if I had loads of them, I'd drink them all at once out of a really big cup. I gave that a 5 out of 5. What's next? Oh, Siren Brew. I've not had one of those for ages, and it was a double IPA, and it was in a Siren glass that was too big for tins of Siren beer. Go figure. Never mind. It was their anniversary beer. Notes ad infinitum. It's a slinky little slut with just a hint of oats in it, so you can imagine that you'll get yours one day. And I gave that 4.25 out of a possible 5. Rivington Brew. The chicks all scream and you make them cream, or whatever the words are. But Terrain is certainly an IPA that is a mouthful and a half of lady foam, but twice as nice to soak out my moustache in the morning. And it was a collaboration with Glasshouse as well. Bro. 4.75, a nice wee score there. Righto, we've got 7 pages left. Oh, God. I really should just fucking do this every month, shouldn't I? Instead of stupid amounts of notes that I can't remember and a silly long podcast that nobody's going to listen to apart from Dino. Anyway, I tripped and ended up with a beer. State of Kind Brew Co's Pale Ale Monkey on the Run, to be precise. Yes, it tastes great, but it has a monkey on it, so it was a no-brainer. Hashtag spank. And it was a 4.5. Oh, hype beer alert. So, in a Citra galaxy far, far away from Wylam, it both smells and tastes like turnip, but I like turnip, so I drank it. And it was a 3.75. Oh, tones from two of my favourite hop hawkers, Beak and Overtone. It was like drinking a well-lubed pegging of a lady of proper fancy. Quite simply, one of the best double IPA tinnies I've had in a long while, and it made me squirt like a bitch. 5 out of 5. I'm going to do a burp. I'm going to keep that in for the ASMR version of the podcast. That I know that Dean's going to listen to this. I'm doing his postman stuff, and he's going to hear my moustache rubbing against the microphone, and hear me going like this with my mouth. And I'm going to go like this on the desk. And I'm going to twang the springs on my boom mic. Like that. And then I'm going to get the zipper layer that I found on top of my car 25 years ago. I'm going to open up and I'm going to go. Asper. Anyway, I'll admit that I only bought Trapped Inside Void because I had a skeleton on the label. It's true. I've missed one. But I'll carry on. I'll go back to it. It was from Black Irish Brew. Anyway, but they're like some kind of kinky beer ambassador and spoil us with their New England IPA that is tastier than a taste explosion in a taste factory. That was a 4.5, right? Rewind. Jings, this double dry hopped IPA from ST Fermentations is raw and unsubtle compared to those I imbibed that afternoon, so I'm taking it slow. It was a teeny bit harsh, but it's still tasty, and I'll put hairs in your nips. And that was a 4.25. Oh, yes, rematch time. So the beers from the lovely wee man at Dark Element Brewery finally got to me. He sent me a replacement can of Hysteria Pale Ale, and the difference from that fucked can is night and day. It was an absolute cracker of a beer. Just thick enough to be filling, and just thin enough to be refreshing. I believe 200 years ago, it would have been burnt at the stake for being a witch. And that was a good solid 4.5. Motherfucker! It is the second of my Dark Element Brewery gratis / making up for the pish can beers, and it's called Headlights. It's an extra pale ale. It's danker than and weedier than a soggy Rasta hat, but with less peas in it, and that was a 4.75. The next one was it was a hot day. I remember that Saturday. It was fucking boiling. I went to Morrison's and I bought their proper shandy. It was £8 for a pack of 10, no brainer. Chucked it in the fridge, and yeah, hot day. Shandy was a hit spot. Who cares if it was from Foster's? And I gave that a solid 5 out of 5. And also the hashtag triggering beer nerds since 2019. Next, another Dark Element. Yes, with its fanny-faced artwork below from Pale Ale, has one of the coolest labels I've seen for a while. It promised frazzles, but I couldn't really taste it. It is, however, smokier than a mid-70s working men's club and has a sneaky wee spicy aftertaste to it. Another winner from our leak-abusing enablers, 4.75. Oh, Jesus H. Corbett. This was the main event from Dark Element. It's called Crafty. It was an IPA, and it's quite simply stunning. Thicker than month-old jizz, peppery as you like, and has a good old-fashioned boozy kick to it. So I gave that tilt marks 5 out of 5. No brainer. What's next? Direct from Liverpool's Pubic Triangle comes Lovely and Brewery's Session IPA. It's crisper than a bag of Walkers and has a cheeky wee bitter aftertaste that makes me have erotic thoughts. Drink it from my Instagram crush's belly button. You know who that is. Well, hopefully you don't, actually. That'd be weird. 4.75. Oh yeah, couldn't remember the last time I had a Burning Sky beer. But it's been too long. And I love the label on their IPA, Warmth. They have prints of it up in the Salt Horse bar, I believe, and it's a very subtle yet tasty swally. Another kicker. 4.5 on Untapped. God, we're getting there. Hopefully you're still listening and you haven't slipped into some kind of shite beer podcast induced coma. What's next up? Oh, it was a night of cool art with Northern Monk and their No Coast IPA. Outlaw Yacht Club. I could see that wee guy on a t-shirt that was on the can. It's kind of muddy and grungy with a bit of a smoky thing going on in the nostrils. A bit like farting in a grow bag. Then huffing it. Like glue. That was a 4.75. Oh god, here we go, fucking broken record time. You cannot beat their overtone, and Folding Stars was a slinky slut of a New England IPA and going down accordingly. That was a 4.75. Oh, here we go, bold claims next. Holy fucking shit. This is the best beer I've probably ever had today. Seven Island Brewery have thumbed my mud mushroom and given me a wet penny with their double dry hop New England IPA, Hop Cthulhu Wrath. Try saying that after several of those tinnies. It's like a curled spaff fest that has been left to chill, but not as salty and twice as tasty. It's also Greek, and I've not found Michael Mosley in the cat. Oh shit, that aged well, didn't it? Oh fuck. Speaking of Manjol Spaff. Ooh, shit. Topical. But yeah, so moving swiftly on, I gave that a 5 out of 5. Oh, another round of Seven Island Brewery and another double dry hop New England IPA with the peppery and juicy Hopminator. Biomechanical label in spooky green and fucking tasty. What did I give that? Oh, 4.75 on Untapped. Cool. State of Brewing. No, it's not called that at all. It's called A State of Kind Brewing. I need my fucking specs on. It was a beer named after my womb room, and it's their double dry hopped IPA, Cuddly Toy. It's sharp and tasty. Again, in line with my phallus, but it costs about £7 more. And it was a 4.5. Oh, Verdant, you are a sexy bunch, and you have seduced me yet again with your West Coast IPA, Big Stupid Westie V3. It's sharp and tasty and is miles better than the filth I sluiced myself out on the previous Saturday night. Yeah, I think I'm done with beery beer, to be honest. What was I drinking that Saturday? It was like real ale type stuff. Oh, it just fucked me up. Yeah, I was hungover the next day. 4.75 on the old tapty bollocky booze. So I ended up at the Monkey Barrel roast battle again on this Tuesday night, and I had a rather flaky pint glass full of double high hopped micro IPA. It was a bit whiffy and a bit funky tasting, but I'd never had Guapo before, and I wasn't really sure if it was meant to be like that. Anybody had it? Anybody know? It wasn't that fun. It wasn't a very tasty pint. Hence the low score of 2.25. Lovely and Brewery. Yes, I picked them up in B&M, I believe. I got a couple of them. But they were keeping me company as I watched Baby Reindeer and then binged it. Their pale ale, cunningly named pale ale, is like a bag of crisps in beer form. crisp and tasty, two-tone fresh. Good solid 4. Mm-hmm. Oh no, an absolute gem of a find in Tesco the next day with a tropical IPA from Beavertown. Sun God is a sharp-tongued bitch and is tastier than someone else's cream pie, but doesn't smell as good. Oh, for fuck's sake! It's a 4 out of 5. Okay, right. I had a lot of stuff going on for these next couple of years or next couple of days, whatever. But my second rodeo kind of helped with my jitters, my zaps, and my anxieties. It was a double IPA from Verdant. It's the beer equivalent of airing your man purse at the end of a long hot day. Proper good stuff. And I was very generous with a 5 out of 5 for this one. Nice. Oh, how cool is this? The Dark Element Brewery IPA that I named and drew a label for. It's in the shops now. Yes, Bubbles is an absolutely majestic beer that's making my left eye lose its focus and my tongue feel like it's being fondled by an octopus version of Gary Glitter. It was a 4.75 on. Oh Christ. Yeah, there's little stars next to where it says I named and drew a label for. Because I didn't. I'm just being a smart arse. Abyssal from Dark Element. I remember I was gasping for that all day. And I'm a total slag for double IPAs, you know. And let's say Abyssal was quite simply a German Arthouse Festival fake film turned flesh and in a beery form. Absolute blinder of a commotion potion from my new beer bestie. And I gave them 5 out of 5. Yeah, you know that I love a beer named after my love pump, and high performance machine from Pressure Drop Brew gets automatic top marks. The fact that it's double IPA flavoured is the love icing on the sex cake. It's got a strong post-coital musk about it, and it's giving me the tingles. Nice. 5 out of 5. Oh, here we go. Downer time. Well, I got pipped at the post for a job that I was, air quotes, favourite for. They were about to make me an official offer, and then they whipped the carpet out from under my feet. But such is life. So, Glasshouse Beer is not a brewery I see often, so I was glad I had a couple in the cupboard. Chroma Days is a lovely pale ale that is crisper than a modern fiver, but less likely to end up down a stripper's knickers. I was really enjoying it. I've just twanged my mic. I think that's the springs. I'll try not to do that again because it sounds like bum rumbling or something. Right, stop it. That was a 4.5. Mm-hmm. I have so much in common with Elder from Northern Monk. This double dry hopped IPA has a hard to read label like the tattoo on my helmet, and it's superly tangy and luscious like my helmet, and has a peel back label unlike my helmet because I don't have an action manual neck. And that was 4.75 on the old Untapped Rooney. Oh, these next ones, they never made it onto Untapped because I was at Testament. I wasn't at Testament, it was at Tempest. That's where it was. And it started off really sort of civilized, and it was really sort of grown up. And I got a flight basically, so 3 beers. I got Apricot, which was a cheeky wee fruit beer. It tasted like juice. That was dangerous. I don't know if I could have drank a pint of that, but it was nice enough. Vermont Sessions was a kind of fizzy tasting hazy New England IPA, and then Soft Glow was a rather standard cask IPA. I wasn't too keen on that one. There we go. After that, I had Amarillo. I don't know. But this pale ale from Tempest was a wee treacle spaff goblin, and no mistake. What? What the fuck's a spaff goblin? What the fuck's a treacle spaff goblin? You get served at the table, which is cool. The lady came across to take her order for the next one, and I couldn't say this one. It's a Motueka, but I got that completely wrong. I don't know. I think I might asked her out in like Swahili or something. It was an IPA, again from Tempest. It was sexy and chewy and lived up to its name, whatever that means. So we jumped back on the train, went to Edinburgh, went to Salthurst, and they all went, "Oh, look, there's an Arbor Ales called I Have a Beard." So I had to drink it. I haven't reviewed it, I just drank it. And after that, I just about had a fucking heart attack when I got a can of Two Flints West Coast IPA, double dry hop Centennial. Nearly had a heart attack, nearly lost my house. Fucking £9 for a can. That's the only one I actually reviewed. I said 0 out of principle, but I didn't put it on Tapped. So, yeah. And the rest of the night was just fucking carnage for me. The guys went home. I decided I would stay and finish that Two Flints. Where did I go after? I've left Salthurst and I found this really cool bar just in Coburn Street, down an alley, called Mortal Cocktail. Where stop sending me emails. I'm trying to record a podcast where I'm meant to be working. I found it's like a arcade themed cocktail bar, but it's not wanky cocktails. It's like spit and sawdust, and they do beers. It's all on the video. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes, and you can have a look at it later on if you so desire. We're on the home stretch. Thank Christ. I had a cheeky wee midweek beer to raise to my new followers. I got loads and loads and loads over a week. Magic. Hopefully they stick around for a while and don't bin me off when I start talking about important issues. Soundscape from Glasshouse. It was a lush double dry hopped IPA, and it's like an antisocial angel delight. The only difference being I've never paid £200 to have a lentil on my face. And if you get that joke, you can't comment below because there's a fucking podcast, you idiot. If you get that joke, then great, well done. That was a 4.25. Soup, double IPA. I've got my knickers in my handbag already. So, Garage Beer Company, this is chewier than a bag of melted Star Mix and more orange than a single mum at the primary school drop-off. It was a lovely beer, and no mistake. 4.75. Yeah. The beer that is actually named after me. Shut it. I do love a left-handed giant beer, and their hazy double IPA, Walking Whirlwind, is a stone cold killer. Chunky as fuck and chewier than a warm curly. That's really hard to say. Chewier than a warm curly whirly. Yeah, so it's right up the street. An absolute belter again. From what does this say? Brobdingenian lads. I guess that was funny when I wrote it. Anyway, it's 5 out of 5. And Northern Monk are back with the foreskin labels and an IPA named after an activity. What I've done: breakdancing in Doncaster. Don't ask. Tastes like pissy mud and looks like synthetic honey. Basically another winner. It's a pity my fancy label's all fucked up and I couldn't read it. Boo. So I peeled it off and it was all like stuck to each other, like a pour mag that's been spaffed on. Allegedly, I wouldn't know. I've just heard about it from like overhearing other people talking about it. Moving swiftly on, 4.5 on Untapped. Pomona Island Brew are pushing their limits to the edge with their masturbatory sounding West Coast IPA, Gleaming the Cube. Radly malted and gnarly, it's a real Casper clip of a dark slide, and I'm stoked that it's steezy. If you get that. Yo. 4.75. And here we go, it's the last one. 40 minutes later, it's the last beer. We have a double IPA, Shock Horror. So, Dream Tempo from Pentridge. It's an almost subtle steel chair to the tongue, followed by an octopus going on with his suckers. It was alright, I suppose. And that was a 4.5 on Untapped. Yay, we're done! And that is that. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the episode. It's been a bit of a trek, hasn't it? What have we covered? We have covered cream pies and sex cases and all sorts. ASMR, no shooting match. I'm good to you lot, aren't I? But yeah, I shall try my absolute best not to leave it so long the next time. Obviously, I do this in my free time. It's hard work. Some people say podcasts are an easy thing to do. Yes and no. You don't need really much to get it off the ground, but what you do need is time. And I've been sort of lacking that recently. Again, apologies. I think we're over 40 minutes in the actual time of the podcast, but it's just been an hour and a half of recording so far. Yeah, I'm not making excuses for myself, just so you know what all the effort that goes into it. But I have a good time doing it, if I'm honest. I have a good laugh at my own jokes, and it's a bit sad, but there you go. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for sticking around to the end. Thanks for your support on both the podcast and the blog. Again, if you want some stickers, give us a shout. They're nearly gone, but I'll do another run as soon as they are gone. And that's it from me for the time being. I shall see you on the gram, and hopefully we'll be back next month to cover my lovely beers in the month of July. Cheery bye!